everybody, welcome to this webcast. I'm Dean Seddon. If you're watching somewhere on social media, thanks for joining us. Stick around, because in this session I'm going to make things as simple as possible. The easiest, most simplistic way you can get clients from social media. I'm going to make it as simple as it gets. So stick around. We're just going to wait for some people to join across different channels. I think we're live on about 9 social channels or 9 different pages and whatever right now. So please let us know in the chat where you're joining from. Say hello. It's interactive. I want to share with you some simple stuff that you can go do tomorrow to help you get clients. So I'm going to make it as simple as I possibly can to help you. So wherever you're joining, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, anywhere else, do let me know where you're joining from. And I'm going to kind of just check that the feed's working, you know, all of that kind of usual housekeeping-y stuff that we do. To see that everybody's here, and I can see some people are already liking the chat and everything as well, so do let me know who you are, where you're joining from. That will be awesome. So I can see there's quite a few people watching on LinkedIn. So one of the big challenges we all have is quite simply doing something repeatable, right? It's that simple. So often what we need is a sustainable way to get clients that works consistently, but actually something that fits in our time, fits in our day-to-day hustle and bustle, but it's something we feel comfortable with. Now, that is the tricky thing here, isn't it? Finding a way of getting clients that we feel comfortable with. I know, maybe I'm a wimp, but I don't like cold calling. If you want to do it, knock yourself out, but I don't like it. It's a bit awkward. Maybe I'm not thick-skinned enough, I don't know. But I just don't like doing it. So I've always looked for alternative ways. And in the past, just over 10 years, that's what I've been doing. We need to sell stuff. Direct assault, cold calling doesn't work, or it doesn't work and I'm not comfortable with it. So what's a simple way that we can make this fly? So if you've got comments, please put them in the chat or the comments section, wherever it is on LinkedIn, and we will dive in. I'm just double checking that everything's working fine, and then we're going to start. So let's just have a look and see where we are. Make sure everybody can see us on the event. So yeah, I can see that people are here. Bear with me, and then we'll start. So, and Patrick's here, but having to check out. So let's just wait for LinkedIn to kick in, which is a really odd thing that it's not jumped in. So we'll just have a look and go, why has LinkedIn not kicked in? And then we will jump on. It looks like we're having some tech issues. So on LinkedIn at the moment, but we will check that this is all working. So give us a minute and then we're going to fly into it. But like I said, I'm going to do a very practical session here. And the practical element of this is you've got to be able to do it day to day. If you can't do it day to day, it's not going to work. If you can't get a habit to stick, then it's not going to work for you. There's something I'll say something. Yay, there we go. So I just got the notification that Maverrik is live. So people should be joining us on LinkedIn now. There we go. There's me looking down at my phone, which is fantastic. So we're going to make it really, really simple. Please let us know where you're joining from in the chat so that we can all interact here. If you're watching on my profile, you're watching anywhere. Anita, welcome. Finally, we solved the glitch. We're going to look at the simplest way to sell. So just whilst we're firing up, Luke is going to put something on screen, and I want to talk to you about this post. So if you're on my feed, you'll see this post which I put up a couple of hours ago. So this is my profile, Dean Seddon, and you'll see this post that I put over the moon, as I should be. Anytime a client has some success, that's the best result for me. Just had feedback from one of our accelerator members. Doing one simple thing on LinkedIn brought a 40K client, and she's put the proposal in. And I was on a call with her earlier today, and she said it's looking really good and really positive. So let me talk about this process. And just whilst I'm here, I want to illustrate a point. And if we can scroll down, we're going to look through, and you'll see that my posts, you're very prolific in posting on LinkedIn. There's a lot of on LinkedIn who are browsing, and like I said, in one of my posts, 98% of LinkedIn, the platform members, aren't posting. They're just not doing 98%, which means the 2% that are getting the majority of the eyeballs. 2% are getting the majority of the eyeballs. As you can see, I'm quickly posting content. Now I want to talk to you about this and why it matters and how you use content to do the selling for you. Because if you can do, whether you're a salesperson, marketer, business owner, solopreneur, it does not matter. If you can make the sale easier, you should do it. If you can get eyeballs onto your business from people who currently don't know you, you should do it. If people can know your name and it costs you nothing, you should be doing it. For let me get this right, nearly 2016 was since 2016, I've been posting every single day without fail. And back then, Maverrik was, when I first started Maverrik, it was a solopreneur consultancy. And so it was just me on my Todd. And over the time, we've built it up to today. We predominantly content driven. We have social selling, and I'm going to share with you some strategies to sell through social media in a second. But over that time, we've known that the long game that will bring us the most revenue, the most clients, is not direct messaging. It's not direct messaging. It's the content. Now you might go, oh, Dean, I've tried this. It's not worked. Well, let me give you a different way of thinking about it. If you invest in the content, you will get opportunities. But I'm going to show you some other tactics you can use too. You will educate an audience of who you are. They will know you exist. Some people are paying thousands of pounds in ads to do that very same thing. Very same thing. So what I'm going to show you is a simple way to get clients that you should be doing every single day. And will it work instantly tomorrow? No. But if you consistently do what I'm going to show you, it will perform. And I get to the point now where my account, I've been doing this for 5 years, I'll get a couple of leads, if not more, way more than that per day. Yeah, people inbound messaging me. I've seen your post. I've been following you for a while. Can you help me with this? Why? Because I've invested the time. Now, for you looking at this and go, oh, Dean, I don't want to spend 5 years or 6 years doing this. Right. You can do this and make it work for you today. And that example, that example I showed with you on the feed, I think we're scrolling up to the top here. That happened from one action, one clear action. So let me show you the simple way to sell and to get clients using nothing more than posts, comments. That's it. Posts and comments. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is daily posting. So we may play with the whiteboard. We may not. I'll think about it. The first thing I want to talk to you about is daily posting. One piece of content is not going to transform your world. Most people put, and hear me out in the way I say it, they put too much effort into one piece and not enough into 10 pieces. So what happens is all this energy, trying to write the most perfect post ever, takes them hours and hours and hours. They put it out, and the return on investment of that post is, to them, zilch. Why? They spent hours getting it and they got 400 views, 300 views, 50 views, 10 views, and one of them was the mum, right? That's what most people do. What you should be thinking about is, what can I share that I can consistently deliver every day? And here's the revelation. It's what you feel about things. It's what you think about things. It's your take on the world. It's your personality. It's your promotional content, but it's also your big ideas. The things that you're afraid to talk about, but you know that they're common in the industry. Now, we're not going to use our social media to point the finger at people, but we are going to say, this is how it is. You need to work on, nobody engages with vanilla. Nobody engages with people who are safe and middle of the road. If you're a small business owner, you need to stand out. You can stand out by being yourself. There's only one of you, and having your spin and your take on the world, your view on the client's problems and challenges is your differentiator when it comes to social media and your content. So I'm going to set you free from a content prison of going, stop worrying about what is good and bad content. Stop worrying about it. You know, the amount of people who say to me, oh, Dean, I want to focus on quality versus quantity. And I'm like, okay, great. What does quality look like? And they go, well, it's a well-written piece, it's insightful, it's informative. So I said, okay, who decides what's well-written? Who decides what's well-written? Who decides what's insightful? Who decides what's engaging? Who decides what gets more visibility? And when I ask those questions, most of the time, the person goes quiet because suddenly they realize that that quality, well-written piece is a subjective judgment of the person who wrote it or the person who produced it. The reality is, what's good is, does your target audience engage with it? Does your target audience respond to it? Does it prompt them to take action? Does it increase your authority and your trust on the platform? And does it help you make sales? The reality is, if you've not been consistently posting and you're stuck in this quality versus quantity dilemma, the problem is you can't really know what's good or bad because the market decides, yeah? Your target audience decides. And until you let them decide, it's just theory. It's you rating your own marketing, yeah? Imagine if, well, famous politician, I'm the most humble man you'll ever meet. I'm not going to say who it is, but everybody knows. Really? Really? The author of the article turning around or the post and saying, this is a really well-written piece and great quality. No, it's the market, it's the audience, it's the people who read it that judge what's works. And sometimes, particularly if you're really knowledgeable in your subject area, you could put something out that you think is fantastic, but actually just scoots over people's heads. So set yourself free from this quality versus quantity dilemma and go, do you know what? I'm going to take the challenge. I'm going to take Dean's challenge and I am going to put out content every day. If it's a one-line sentence or it's War and Peace, it's going out. But I want you to do one more thing. I want you to reflect on your posts. I'm going to give you some ideas in a minute. Reflect on your posts at the end of each week and go, what got the most response and the most interest, and what got me the most visibility, of course, and what do I think out of those posts help me engage my target audience better? So we talk about this as if you promote every day, you'll bore people. So think about, how can I talk about some of the challenges my target audience face that I know I can help with, but I'm not going to twist it into a promotion. I'm just going to share ideas. I'm going to share some value. I'm going to give some tips. I'm going to give some suggestions, and I'm just going to share what I think. Share what I think. Assuming you are a well-rounded human being, share what you think. If you're not a well-rounded human being, maybe check your post with a well-rounded human being first. There's a lot of people who think that social media is just a place to say exactly what you want and exactly what you think. And if you do that, your political opinions, you rant and rave about other people and do all of that stuff, don't be surprised if you don't get much business. Don't be surprised if people are wary of working with you, because people like that, who behave like that, they attract an audience who love to watch mudslinging, but are not very good at paying for service. So be careful about being that person. I want you to share content. What comes to your mind, the challenges your audience face, and learn from it. There's no avoiding the learning process. You can't skip it, you can't theorize it, you can't do anything. You've got to do it. So I'd encourage you to write, and this might seem really silly, right? But I'll tell you, and I'll pretty much guarantee this, that if you consistently put out what you're thinking, talking about the challenges of your target audience, you will get their attention. Why? Because you'll learn what works, and you will instinctively get to a point where you can write in a way that speaks to your audience. But you can never do it without doing it. You have to implement it. So I want you to, number one, I want you to post every single day and commit to do it for 30 days. 30 days, put something out there, a picture, some text. Don't go overboard, but at least 50% of it is talking to your target audience, talking about their challenges, and some promotion. Not every day, not 50% of your posts, like somewhere around 15 to 20% of the posts, are out and out promotional, 15 to 20%. Then half of them are more about you and what you're up to, and the remaining balance are speaking to your target audience about their challenges, their frustrations, their pains that you know you can help with. Give some value. And then I want you to do something else we call the 7 steps. And then I'm going to explain to you how this post that I'm sharing, how that happened. So number one, the 7 steps is a principle that we teach to companies, big companies, small companies, as part of our core training to sell through social. The long game for you is the content. That will get you the followers, it will get you the visibility, it will get you the clients that you want. That's the long game here. But in the short term, the simplest way for you to get clients is to be on one of the levels of authority. And I'm going to talk to you about level 2 today, which is the Socialite. Now you may think, Socialite, I don't like social media, I only go on there because I want customers. The Socialite is real simple. So you see on LinkedIn, you see on social media, you join a Facebook group and immediately somebody friend requests you and pitches you their stuff. You see it on LinkedIn. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is becoming a Socialite. And a Socialite is real simple. It's the easiest way to get going. It's the easy way to get into to profit on social media. It's the easy way to get, to your first 10 grand a month, if that's where you're at. Obviously, once you want to scale up and you want to start to get into the 50, 60,000 pounds a month and plus, you need to adapt, and that's what we call expert in demand. But tonight, the Socialite seller. So the Socialite. Right, so number 1, you're posting content every day. Go do this, right? Don't worry about it, don't stress about it, just start. Just start, right? Start doing it. Review it and tweak. Right? Review and tweak every week. Yeah, real simple. So post content, review and tweak. Now we're going to become the Socialite. So what is a Socialite? So a Socialite is somebody who is very relatable, very engaging on the platform. So what does that look like? Pick 30 or 40 people who are in your target audience and go, as we would call, love bomb them. Like and comment, interact with them, have discussions with them. Don't sell until you've had 4 to 5 interactions. 4 to 5 interactions. What's an interaction? You comment on their post. You send them a message about something that's going on in their world. You're just a good human being. If you do that, alongside that, you're done. That will sort itself out for you. Of course, in this process, you will have to send them a message and ask them, can you speak to them, or could we arrange a Zoom call? I think there's some ways I can help you, but it can be very relational, very human, very sociable. So why am I telling you to do these 2 things in this way? Well, if you interact with people like this, your target audience, you interact with their posts and then you connect with them, and then you keep interacting with them. Maybe you share an idea with them that might be helpful to them. Real low-key stuff, no hard sell, real warm in your tone, like you're talking to a family member, not your close family members, but it's warm in the way you approach them. You do this process whilst you're posting content. And because of the way you're running your LinkedIn, the visibility of this goes up. The visibility of your content goes up. So some of these people are now seeing your content. So if you're engaging with 30, let's say 30, I'd love to say more, but you've got to do it in 30 people in a week. You commit to 5 or 6 people a day, depending on how many days you want to do it. And you're going to engage with them. So on Mondays, I'm going to engage with these 6. And then Tuesday, I'm going to engage with these 6. And then Wednesdays, I'm going to engage with these 6. If that's what you want to do, go do it. You will see your own content rise because LinkedIn and social media loves it when you interact. And the more you interact with profiles, the more you see each other. Real simple, the more you see each other. And this person, as long as you don't go all nuts and look like a stalker or psycho killer, you actually attempt to build a meaningful relationship with this person. Their trust in you will build, your credibility will build, They'll see your content. Some of them will probably engage back and share their opinions. And you can do this all day long. It's like, think about it. It's like networking. It's like going to a networking event, but you can have one every single day. Every single day. Except you can choose who's in the room. Instead of going to the networking event and going, who's here? And then, you know, you're looking for CEOs or managing directors of manufacturing companies, and you walk into the networking room and you find that there's a book author and a window cleaner and a finance director and an insurance director of insurance and a marketing officer and all of these other things and some competitors. You can choose who's in your personal networking room. You can pick them. You can go on LinkedIn, go on Facebook, go on Instagram, go on Twitter, and just decide. You're in my calendar on a Monday, and I'm going to engage with you on a Monday. And over a period of 4 to 5 interactions, then you can go, can I have a chat with you? I want to share some ideas. I've been looking at what you're up to. I'd love to have a chat with you. Now, because you're doing that, they're going to see some of your content. And some of that content is promotional, so they're going to know what you do. Some of that content is about you, so they get to know you. People don't buy from people they don't like. People don't buy from people they don't trust. So you going and putting yourself out there, building that relationship, sharing who you are, reviewing it and tweaking it and adjusting it so you're learning from the process, you're a winner. Will you make $1 million doing that process? No. But most people don't need to make $1 million. If you need to make $1 million from LinkedIn, we need to have a completely different conversation, which is not this process. This is the Socialite model. Somebody's just said, I'm looking for ways to establish relationship with potential partners to establish a win-win. Do you think the same soft approach will work? Yes, and I'll tell you why it will work. The reason this works is because it's based on human nature. So, will every one of those 30 people become a client? No. That's not what it's about. It's about building relationships, building trust, and some of those people will become customers. It's a real simple way to sell, and this is how I started. This is how I started. And then, you know, a lot of my team, so I'll just give you the story to this, how this works. So this model does not date. That's the other good thing. This little simple way to do it does not date because it's based on human nature. Most sales strategies and marketing strategies on social media rely on the technology. And of course, the technology is vulnerable to change and it's subject to change, and it does change. So I started out doing exactly this process. This is how I did things. This is how it worked. And then I was posting every day. And at first, my post didn't do very much, did nothing. And I thought, But one of the funniest things it is, when I thought my posts were doing nothing, one of my most valued clients, one of my, actually become like a friend really, was sat watching my content. And I didn't know. And then in 2020, they became a client. A good client, great relationship, really enjoy working with them. Great relationship. And everybody who joins Maverrik, we say to them, you've got to post on LinkedIn. Doesn't matter what you do on the business, you've got to post on LinkedIn. And we say, also, engage and build your audience. Engage and build your audience. We don't tell people to sales pitch. We don't tell people, of course you have to outreach, but you don't have to be aggressive in the outreach. You don't have to like churn and burn. Be relational. And whether you are, you know, a content writer, a graphic designer, in the finance department, everybody does it. Why? It's good for their careers. It's good for the company. And it helps build our message and get our message out there. But what I'm saying is that this is the long-term win here. because this is what gets you top of mind. And even today, top of mind wins hands down. So we be the socialite and we post content. Now, if you want to go a step above that to another level again, we have what we call expert in demand. And this is where you accelerate this process so that you start to get more people wanting to work with you. You build a fan base, not out of vanity or ego, but you build a fan base that propels your content, that accelerates your content, but also it positions you as, to the outside world, you are the go-to person. You are the go-to person. Your way is the way that they fix their challenges and their problems. That's a whole other level. And if you want to kind of know about that, I'll put, oh, it's on screen. If you want to have a call with one of our team, they'll talk to you about expert in demand and how you get to that level of authority. I've actually put an article on my LinkedIn last week, on my LinkedIn newsletter. Go have a look at it, and I talk about the different levels of authority. It's a LinkedIn article. I'll put it up on the screen in a second, but I literally break down the 5 levels and the difference they make. Most on LinkedIn are either what I call the commodity trader. Here it is. They're either the commodity trader. I don't know whether we can shrink the screen a little bit. The commodity trader, or they're pursuing trying to become a thought leader, which is quite heavy duty work, and you will need to throw 2 to 3 years of work to get there. So the Socialite is the simplest way to get clients on LinkedIn. Post daily, so you learn what works and tweak it as you go. Field test it, as I call it. And then become the Socialite. Engage with people, connect with people, add value, but systematically 4 to 5 interactions before you even ask for a conversation. 4 to 5 interactions before you try and sell them anything. Yeah? Win their trust. Win the right to communicate with them. Win that right by being a good relationship builder. Build your networking event and choose who's in the room. Those people you build here will see this. And as they grow, you'll get more people and more people and more people. And that's how I started. That's exactly how I started. Posting content. I actually started, I'd love to go back, but it's really hard to go back that far. I started by sharing quotes that I'd made on my phone. Found a good quote and made it branded up in our way, our design, and put it up. And that's what I did from the very beginning. And then it evolved and goes, yeah, well, people like my quotes, but people actually want value. They want to know how they can grow their business. They want to know how they can get more clients. They want to know how they can make more money in their business. So I need to share more stuff that will help them. And actually today, you think about it, this is an extension of that. So real simple. I'm not going to stay on too long because unless there's questions, simple way to get clients. Post every day. Don't overstress it. Build your muscle. Start posting and build your muscle. If you're worried about what will people think of my posts, you should see some of the posts out there. There's some atrocious posts. So I really wouldn't worry about yours. You'll learn pretty quick after you post. I've posted sometimes and I've gone, what was I thinking? But do you know what the great news is? Tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow's another day. Most people don't even remember what happened on... Most people remember what happened on social media 3 days ago. So I really wouldn't stress about it. Just be professional, be informal, never familiar. Love that saying, informal, but never familiar. It's a good rule for life. It's a good rule for direct messaging. It's a good rule for content. Informal, but never familiar. Get it out there, get it posted, see what works, learn and tweak every week. And then start to be the Socialite, but choose your room carefully. Who are your target people? Who are the people you want to do business with? Choose your 30 people Program it into your diary. Mondays, I've got these 5-6 people. Tuesdays, these 5-6 people. If that's how you want to do it, program it in and become really focused on doing just that. Inside of a month, you'll have a client. Hands down. Inside of a month. Month 2, you probably get more than one client. Yeah, to the point where you'll actually be able to go, do you know what? The more I become a socialite, the more clients I get. And of course, your first month's going to be a trial and error. So I've seen some people do really well and fly in month 1. I've seen some people where it's like, no, I'm seeing it working. You know, we've had a couple of good bites, but I just need to tweak it a little bit more. So it's dead simple. You just do those 2 things. Learn what works, learn from it, figure it out, as I say. But here's the real crux of it. Most people are afraid that something's going to fail. So what happens is we get scared that something's not going to work. And we worry about it, and we worry about the consequences of it not going to work. So what happens is we abandon it. We don't commit to it. We don't make something happen. And this is the reality, and I'm not going all kind of UFO. You're a business owner, you're a marketeer, you're a salesperson. Your job is to go make something happen. Not think about it, not plan it, it's to make it happen. And so I am telling you, I am confident I'll put my name to this process works. So go do it and make it work. Interact with people. I mean, literally, this process, I've implemented this process with a corporate recently, and they've picked up a £5 million opportunity from just doing this. From just doing this. Yeah? And there's all sorts of scary tech and latest gadgets, and let me give you the big revelation about tech, gadgets, automation, all that stuff. I'm sure it's all brilliant. But if you can't master this bit, God help you if you can't try and master that stuff. If it works in a simple way, it can scale. If you try and scale without knowing what works, that's madness. So simple, here's the challenge. And I'd love you, by the way, to reach out to me and let me know how you're getting on. If you want a call with our team, no sales pitch, if you want some more tips, our team will happily jump on a call for 10-15 minutes, review what you're doing, give you some tips on the content, show you how they're doing it, purely from a point of view of helping. And the selfish bit is, if you come across somebody who needs our help, you're probably going to recommend us. Yeah? So we are playing a long game with this content because we know the long game is the content. So look, go and try this. Commit to 30 days of posting. Yeah? Don't overthink it. Just do it and say, I'm going to do this. I am going to make this happen. Right? Then start becoming the socialite. 4 to 5 interactions. If you want any more clarity on this point, if you want to implement it, but you just want some more reassurance, one of our team will jump on a call with you. They'll show you what they're doing. They'll show you how it works, give you some tips, and send you on your way. But I want to know when you implement this, drop me a message, come find me on LinkedIn, come find me on Instagram, and say to me, Dean, I'm going to do it. I'm going to accept your 30-day challenge to post. And do it. And even send me some of your posts and I'll give you feedback. But if you want some one-to-one advice, I can't jump on with everybody because I think about 700 people watching this across all the different channels. If you want some one-to-one advice, the link on the screen, digitalselling.co.uk, it takes you to a Calendly link. You can book a time that works for you. And one of our team will jump on and say, let's have a look at your content then. Let's see what you're doing. Who do you want to talk to? Okay. This is what I do and this is how they do it, and they'll give you some tips to get you going. At the end of the day, most people, it's not about getting thousands of people. Most people on this video, this live today, are not looking for thousands of customers. They want 10. They want 20. Yeah, that's most people, that's what it is. It's not thousands, it's 10 or 20. You can nail this with that. But let me say this. what I find, and I find this a lot, is that some people are so focused on trying to get 10 or 20 clients that they spend all their time trying to reach thousands of people, and they go, let me get this right, they go so shallow with lots of people and go deep with nobody. So shallow with thousands and go deep with nobody. Socialite model is the best way to go deep, win some business, get some money in the bank, get some work flowing, and then think about how we scale it, going to the next stage, which is expert in demand. Don't try and go, oh, I'm going to be thought leader, I'm going to be influencer, because when I've got 1 million followers, people will automatically want to buy from me. Well, yeah, but you're going to spend a fortune doing it, and it's going to take you time. This is something you can go do now. You can do it now. So look, I'm going to wrap up. Oh, we've got another question. Nick's up for the challenge. Nick is up for the challenge. Nick, drop me a DM. I'd love to keep an eye on it. Go do it. Go make it happen. Tell me what's happening. If you want some support, book in with our team. They'll find a time to work with you. They'll give you 25 minutes, go through what you're doing, go through your plan, give you some pointers. The only thing they'll expect in return is if you got some value, go to Google. If you got some value, go to Trustpilot. That's all they're looking for. So look, I'm going to wrap up. I'd love you to go do that challenge. Go make it happen. You decide to make it happen. And let me know how you get on. So from me today, thank you for joining us. Hope this has been helpful. And I am looking forward to hearing about your posts. I'm looking forward to hearing about how you become the socialite. And I'm looking forward to hearing about that client that you've won from implementing this. So see you on the next week. I'm back next week with a session called The Simple Way to Create Content. And I'm looking forward to seeing you there.
Last year, Maverrik has helped generate more than 15 million in new business. The biggest reason for this is our 90-day training and implementation platform we call the Accelerator program, where we teach your team to sell on social media with an implement-as-you-go strategy. It's not a pre-recorded course, it's hands-on sales training that develops and grows with you, with 90 days of real action that generates business and long-term revenue. So who is it for? This program is for entrepreneurs, marketing and sales professionals who want to sell without ads, cold calling or pushy tactics. A better way of selling with real steps to take which speeds up your sales process without burning any bridges. These are just a few examples of results our members have achieved using the Accelerator. As you can see, the Accelerator isn't about quick wins, it's about building a better sales process. If you'd like to learn more, just book a call with the Maverrik team and we'll show you how the Accelerator program can win you new business.